any reason why they're so late?
I don't know. Well, I know Lupin's at work, so she's got an excuse. Anthony, not sure.
I think she said he's playing Ark.
$20 says he fell asleep playing the game. The game is fucking horrible.
He also said Lord of the Rings.
Which one though?
I'm assuming the second.
Shadow of Mordor.
I thought it was Shadow of War.
The second is Shadow of... Bleh.
The first one is the Shadow of Mordor, isn't it? The second one is the Shadow of War. I should know this because I have the first one and it's all its DLC, but I've played it for about maybe an hour.
Okay, so to get started, a recap. You guys essentially stumbled on what is the plot, being that you managed to wander your way into a crypt of a seemingly well-revered individual for whatever this. You essentially wandered into what was a crypt, a very well-kept crypt for a single individual and several of his close companions. This is really the first exposure, besides the Warforged city, of this sort of ancient civilization that's present here. Though none of you have any real ideas how large it is or anything else about it, just that you've seen the architecture and you've seen sort of the materials. You also have seen what they're capable of, considering apparently a lich was trying to resurrect a powerful warrior. You managed to best the warrior, the resurrected warrior, before he can make his own escape and grow even more powerful, most likely. Claiming his things, you found 2 items of near wondrous capabilities magically, had the magic not degraded over possibly millennia. Upon exiting the crypt, however, you found yourselves surrounded by a group of lizard folk who quickly abducted you and absconded with you.
Why are we always being kidnapped?
Because you keep trespassing on goddamn land.
About us?
Because you're really the first living people not from the group to wander into territories.
It's time for plot!
So, you all awaken not in a room, but rather in a small clearing. None of you are certain where you are.
Do I have all my things? I check for all my things.
You don't know, because your hands are bound. Though a quick check does prove yes. Also, Lucy, you guys are huddled together in a small, what looks like a makeshift hut. The ground's solid, a bit damp, and Lucy's bound up in a corner.
I never updated my longsword.
Oh, I think I have it. I'll retroactively update it while I'm doing all this.
All right.
Point being, there's a small torch. There's actually no natural lighting, save for this small cluster of mushrooms. Okay, yeah, so your hut, essentially, the place you're all got shoved in, is built up against a tree. The tree has these small mushrooms growing out of the side of it. They give off this sort of natural glow, almost. It's a dull glow, but it's enough to cast light for you guys to see, because otherwise the tent's pitch dark. You're all bound. if you guys want to try to find the way out, you're welcome to try.
Honestly, it's worked out better for us just to stay bound to a pole and just talk to them, because that's happened twice already.
I asked Lucy if she's okay.
She just nods her head.
Okay. Angel mode activate. Now now everybody that doesn't have dark vision can see.
Dervona's also absent.
Great. The Warforged in here?
No, because he left.
Yeah, he's our ambassador, remember?
Where's V?
The auntie?
Yeah, V.
You don't see her either. The flap to your tent. So let's see. Rainer, you're the first to see it, as there's apparently a flap in the tent that you just now see, as there's suddenly light dazzling throughout the hut. The door opens and this tall figure enters the room. You think it's a he at least. It's kind of hard to tell, actually. They're wearing this white sort of clothing and it's bone. Like literal bones.
Got some monster hunters up in here.
But what you do see in between the bones is this dark black coloring. You also see something moving behind him, or it, because again, you can't really tell gender, and it just stares at you before dragging the entire group and Lucy out of the hut. Looking behind him, you notice it's a tail, a fully functioning tail.
Okay. Go see where this plays out.
Bound to the tree, so you guys exit, and it's this small camp. It's right on the precipice of a much more marshy area. Like, it's almost kind of jarring. It's sort of this straight line of firm land that drops off into what seems like extremely murky waters.
Is it me or are you guys breaking?
Is it what?
If you're saying people are breaking up, it is you.
Can I add a 1d10 force? Because I don't remember that part. Mark, I'm talking about your sword.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at the footage.
I don't think I did. Because if I remember right, Necro stuff only does.
Oh no, you're thinking of Devona's hammer has force damage.
Yeah, no, but with the longsword that you have, you have a second type of damage that does 1d10.
Ooh.
That's not what it is, though.
Oh, so does that...
Yours does have a weird effect. It's not extra damage.
Wait, what about my
grow longer?
That is one thing. It can be given reach It can be given reach once per long rest for a single combat, essentially. Because because I'm looking at it at the moment, since At the moment, it is +1 to hit and 1d8 slashing and 1d8 plus 1 slashing damage.
Do I get to use my dex?
One sec.
It wasn't the best sword, wasn't it?
Looking through. No, you don't get to use dex.
Damn.
You do get to wield it one-handed, though.
Okay.
Yeah, because the features it has, it's variant construction, which, if wielded with 2 hands, gives it the feature reach. Gives it the feature of reach, but does not give it the feature of heavy. Damage isn't changed, but you do get an extra 5 feet of attack distance. But it does require strength to wield. So yeah. So okay, back to the subject at hand. The 4 of you essentially. Ravon is still nowhere to be found for some reason. The 4 of you are dragged out and set down in front of the fireplace. Standing around the tent are just a bunch of these other figures similar to the one that dragged you out, and you get a good look at them. They're not human. They're lizard folk. Most of them you can't really make out you can make out, at least in the low light, are the same ones that captured you earlier in the day, at least since it's now on. Sorry, that was my dog. But point being, oh yeah, and Jing, are you still shining?
If it took longer than a minute to get here, no. But if
No, they
under a
dragged you out in
minute,
30 seconds, and they immediately throw a sack over you because you're kind of giving off daylight almost in the middle of the night.
What is it with you and getting put in sacks?
Because he's doing things that kind of piss people off. The point being, like, a lot of the lizard folk, after the sacks put over him, seem to suddenly just stop giving interest in your group and seem a lot less agitated all of a sudden. Like, before they were almost predatory and ready to kill. Now they're just sort of relaxed, sitting around a campfire and eating. Granted, some of them are eating writhing mice, fish, and other animals, but eating nonetheless.
my first question is why always with the sex?
And you actually hear this from above you guys. Like can attract unwanted attention.
You can ask me, I can turn it off.
Sack was quicker. He just plops down. Why are you
And I
trespassing
stopped
on forbidden
thinking.
grounds?
Forbidden.
Those of our kin that go down there die. Never come back. Or come out as one of those things. We
What
call it
thing?
forbidden because it kills us. Why were you in there?
Fetching things.
It's
Where's-
slightly
where's the
muffled as we
second-
fill a sack over you.
Where's the sack of the thing of trinkets?
That dwarf, the small one that came with you, she was very insistent on keeping it. We let her keep the cursed items, but we weren't touching them.
Where is she?
It's not your concern, smooth skins. And Elizabeth, you notice that comment isn't directed at you. It's just at the other 3, or other 2, and Lucy. But and actually, at this point, Elizabeth, you're actually unbound.
Huh.
Are you the leader? And he's talking to you now, Elizabeth.
Not really.
One of the Smoothskins, your leader.
It's that elven boy over there.
What?
With that, I scoot away from him. Good luck.
You're dragged back over to his side, Jing.
Damn it.
Of all the times for you to try this, now is the time that you do this.
I'll ask you, then I'll ask again. Well, actually, and he more just like roughly grabs your face and just starts tilting you to the side, Rainer, to sort of look at your, you guess, skin. He actually brings up a claw and drags it just hard enough to draw blood from your skin.
Hey, that's not necessary, bro.
He brings it to his mouth and tastes. Not rotten. So you're not one of the corpse walkers. And he talks, and starts talking. He turns to one of the side and starts talking to more. It's an entirely different language than what you guys are used to, that he starts talking to another person in.
He's speaking lizard man.
Do they even have a language?
I would assume
Wouldn't
so.
it be like Draconic or something?
That'd be dragons.
Which one of you speak? Do any of you speak Draconic? Is the question.
I'm pretty sure Elizabeth does.
Yes, I do.
So Elizabeth, you understand it perfectly, and it's essentially. Do you think they actually fought what was down there, or did they just walk in after it died?
You went and killed it. I say in Draconic.
You know, that's not helpful when people speak in different languages. I know 4 different languages, but, you know, I like to speak in common, too.
The tongue feels odd.
And then I talk in his head, is this better?
You're immediately punched hard in the head.
How did you talk?
I have telepathy. I can understand all languages
Yeah,
as
the
long as
moment
I
you
talk in my head.
I'll be right back. I have to deal with something.
As long as people are within 30 feet mark, I can talk with them with telepathy, even if they don't speak a language that I speak.
All right. Also, how do you use a character vault anyway? I've never actually used it.
So it's in your tools, and then you go to character vault, and you can import a character from a different game. So I can invite you to my Tal'Dorei campaign.
Sorry, I had to do
You can
something.
roll up all your stuff, and then when he actually has you go into the game, you can import it over to his game.
All right, so, but yeah, Jing, the moment you try using telepathy, you're given a swift punch right in the face. And it actually hurts. You taste blood.
Yeah. And I cursed in Celestial.
How does that sound like?
Very conflicting tones as this very melodious language emits from his lips, but it's said in an extremely angry tone. It's like someone's trying to sing opera angrily. So Elizabeth, the one in the black lizard folk turns back to you. What did you fight down there? And what did you see?
We saw a leech and a skeletal warrior.
You saw a bug?
Lich.
You
Pronunciation.
can't listen.
I know, but I feel like that was... I don't know if he's fucking with them or if he just forgot how to pronounce it. I never know what to tell with you.
Yeah, I mispronounced it. An undead wizard.
What did he look like?
Can I roll a history to
You can
remember?
roll a history to try to remember.
Technically, this was what, like
Jesus,
30
this was
minutes
like
ago?
5 hours ago.
True, but he wasn't there for long. And also, he wasn't the thing you were fighting.
Huh. Can't seem to remember.
He was a floating skeleton. That's the best you got. And he starts muttering under his breath.
I have a passive of 18. Can I understand if it's common?
It's draconic.
Damn it.
All you really get is like this set of sort of almost, it almost sounds like he's whistling, sort of, except there's a lot more weight behind it. There's also a few like hard consonant-like sounds mixed in, but for the most part, he's just muttering that way under his breath. You got no idea what he's saying.
A little help here, Elizabeth.
Do I roll perception for that?
You can certainly try.
Oh.
I don't know.
You were just the bee's knees right now.
You're kidding. He does have a curse. He's our Will Wheaton.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
And he's playing a warrior, too, so...
When it comes to fucking with people, it's always high score.
Yeah, when it comes to messing with people, you're great. When it comes to actually being a helpful part of the group, that's when you start fucking up.
Can I try to discern the mood of this, whatever the fuck this is?
The lizard folk?
Yeah.
Roll investigation at disadvantage, because this is an extremely alien race, and he doesn't...
Not bad.
It's extremely subtle, but it's almost like he's arguing with himself. He's on the fence about something.
And at this point, he's gonna keep his mouth closed.
I'm Rainer. Can I know your name?
Thor Kid.
Once more, please.
Thor Kid.
Thor Kier?
It's
Thor Kid.
No, this is the player talking to the DM for repeating the name.
Yeah, Thor Kier.
Thor Kier.
Thank you.
THURKEAR.
And into names it goes. Oh, there it actually is. Holy shit! I was fucking with you.
Oh no, that's been in the names for a long time.
I haven't looked in names since he put it in. We meant.
And Elizabeth, he says to you, night. And that's it.
We're knocked out? Or is he leaving?
No, he's still there. He just said the word night to Elizabeth in Draconic. Because Elizabeth, you realize Thorkir is Draconic for night. As in NIGHT, night. Just...
Oh, I understand how this is going.
Yeah, Elizabeth, roll a history check real quick, because
Aren't the lizard people They name themselves simply by what they do or some shit like that.
Yeah, Elizabeth, roll a. If you want to try to figure out. Yeah, Elizabeth, you remember that you were taught sparingly about the lizard folk during your time as a child. And from what you remember, they don't put much stock in names. Rather, they put more stock in deeds, and that's basically what their names become. Most lizard folk being essentially nameless or taking a name from a parent for most of their lives until they distinguish themselves or get killed and buried. You can relay this to the others and what his name actually means if you want, but for now, we can keep that little tidbit to yourself.
Keep it to myself.
All right, so he just said his name, but it meant something in Draconic.
Well, it was literally just a word in Draconic.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misconceived.
Okay, the way it works is essentially their original language is Draconic. They had to learn Common in order to interact with others, sparingly as it was. Also, it was sort of just a survival tactic of eventually we're going to have to trade with people even though we don't like it. But the originally, they died off so quickly, giving each other names was really just a sort of wasted effort. So until they grew to a certain age and actually started accomplishing things on their own and distinguishing themselves as part of the clan, as part of a clan and as part of a family, they were nameless or borrowed names from their clan, or borrowed their clan names, or
They're hatched children.
Essentially, they work for their names. And he actually points to one sitting next to him who is. And also, it's at this point that you realize he is extremely androgynous. Like, it is extremely hard to tell if it is male or female. And I actually realized I just messed up what I originally planned for this.
Oh, lovely.
Well, no, it's more just genders of the two, but considering they really don't give a shit. It was a coin flip, and I just realized I mixed those up on those two, looking at my results again. He also points to another, and it's a much smaller one than him, though it's a much more pronounced female build. And looking between the two, the head's slightly smaller on the female, it's slightly narrower. There's a few more features to give up, and it's a slightly more rounded head than the other one, which is much more angular. This is Middick. And she's sort of fiddling with a set of bones that appear to be fashioned into a flute.
She's a caster.
Lord.
And Elizabeth, you know Myrick to be song.
So it's a night and a song.
I shoulder my flute over my back. I can do that too.
Keeping in mind your hands are still bound.
I can shoulder stuff around. My flute's on the outside of my backpack.
Your backpack's not on you.
Where did my backpack go? You said I had all my
taken.
stuff on me.
You said you couldn't tell. Yeah, I said you couldn't tell. And looking around, your stuff's sort of piled in a corner on the opposite end of the camp.
Is that shoulder hilt still on my shoulder?
Yeah, it's still there.
They can't remove it. It attacks them.
More that they're not touching anything they believe to be cursed. Specifically, anything that comes from the tombs. From the tomb.
Sure.
So does that mean that Raynor still has his sword?
Oh, yeah. It's still strapped to your side, Raynor. It's quiet, though.
So how can we help you?
That's what we were discussing before you woke up.
We were asleep. We were asleep. When did we go to sleep?
he turns to you, Elizabeth, and switches back to Draconic. Is he what you would call joking, or is he legitimately that dumb?
It's a mixture of both. Sadly.
What about the other smooth skin?
Less intelligent, but he's learning.
Better than the shiny one. And he just switched back to common with a groan. Your group has ventured into the crypt, has ventured into the cursed grounds, and come back out unscathed. We could use your assistance for something.
Okay. What kind of something?
You'll learn when you need to. For now, though, and he goes behind and deftly cuts the rope, cuts what was binding your hands behind your back. Tonight you eat. And notice over the fireplace there are several sharpened sticks jammed into the ground, each one with a fish hanging off, impaled on the end of it. And they've just been roasting over the fire.
Can I tell what kind of fish it is?
You could try and roll a nature check.
I go see if Lucy's okay.
Lucy gets unbound and she just immediately bounds forward, grabs one of the sticks, and just starts tearing into it.
Did you say at disadvantage?
No, just at regular. No advantage or disadvantage because it's just a fish. It's just a fish.
So the smaller person that was with us, where did she go?
She ran off before we could get her.
Oh.
We don't want to risk our own. We won't risk our own chasing after some smooth skin with a death wish. And at this point, the other one chimes in. Oh no, don't be so rude. She did mess up. She did mess up Fiddick pretty good. And you look over and there's one in green that she kind of just looks over to. And and it looks like his arm's just hanging limply at his side. The fingers slightly twitch, but the arms as a whole is still unresponsive.
That's all I know. I can't do anything better than that. Wait. And I think. Healing hand.
How many second level spells have you used?
Healing hand's a race.
It's a racial thing.
But at a higher level?
No, it's just a racial thing.
And why does it say higher level?
Because that's healing word.
The healing word was before that.
No, I know, but you can't use second level spells because you haven't had a long rest yet.
Yeah, we did. We rested in the tomb before we came out.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah.
We rested, then we got kidnapped, and now it's night again.
Oh, yeah. And getting time mixed up.
That's what happens when you make us skip a whole day being kidnapped again.
And that's the best I could do.
Thorkid just walks off, kind of just like scowling and mumbling to himself. And you get a good look at Mirik for the first time, and she's actually kind of nice looking. She has this sort of has this reddish white pigmentation to her. Her scale, like the scales around her body, are just this dark, this sort of almost rose red, and the scales on her stomach are the only thing that's like a lighter white almost. It's almost pink on her stomach. And she sort of bears this toothy smile towards you. It's like, I don't mind him. He's not very trusting of outsiders.
Who is on this continent?
Well, when most outsiders, well, look at it from our point of view. Most of the tribes and clans just got out of a very bloody civil war only a few weeks ago, have just unified, and all of a sudden we're beset by outsiders who sought to do nothing but harm us. From a logical point of view, that's the only real stance you could take towards anyone that wasn't one of us, was that of aggression.
You mean there were other outsiders here?
We call them corpse walkers.
Oh, those things. They don't like anybody.
Is she referring to the ones in the jungle or the ones that actually have a brain?
You have no idea.
Pretty sure Settlement 7 isn't just running around attacking people, bro.
What is this Settlement 7?
Do I have my map? Do I have my map still?
It's with your pack.
Damn. Never mind.
You could just explain it to them.
Sure, I'll draw a map in the dirt with a stick.
Roll investigation check to find a stick.
Do I get advantage because it involves the map?
No.
Damn it.
Famous.
You somehow stick your hand into the fire. No, it's like you don't even notice it for the first few seconds. You take it out and you smell. And your flesh is sort of just like smoking a bit.
I try to play it off as me being tough. Or can I recover from this natural one?
Not really.
Okay.
Merrick's just kind of cocks her head. She keeps this smile, and it's at this point that you start to realize she doesn't really know what smiling is, and she's more just doing this to express some form of emotion. Why did you just stick your hand in the fire?
I was looking for a stick.
And she casually looks to her side and just tosses you a stick.
Thank you. I draw a map and do basically a map lesson.
Roll history.
History. Do I get advantage?
Yeah. It has to do with the map, legitimately this time.
18.
You effectively give them that far to the east, there's a settlement. Well, actually, not that far from them is a settlement of sort of sentient undead that have pretty much just been doing their own thing for a while. But you think she gets it. So there are some corpse walkers who aren't inherently bad.
More like they're not really corpses.
But you've said some are skeletons.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make them corpses?
Technically, and I shrug. The main thing is they can talk and communicate, while the other ones are just mindless killing machines.
Some of the corpse walkers we've met could talk, and they still attacked us.
What did they say?
We didn't understand it. It had traces of common in it, but... And she sort of just shrugs. Majority of our clans never did like speaking common.
Oh,
So is... God damn, I have to look it up. Was it Thorkir?
Thorkir comes back and he's holding a snake in his hands, and it's sort of wriggling. And it wriggles and tries to bite into his hand, but you just hear this and just it bounces off. He then just shifts his hand up. And then he just and he legitimately just he bites into the center of it and holds the head part and slides his teeth along the bottom and essentially rips off everything except the skeleton. This is, Rainer, you've mostly been able to deal with the women that you've met because most were corpses. The others were robots. One was a snake. And this one's a lizard. None of them have really brought up the memories of human for you. Well, the dead ones did, but that was a bit easier to handle because you yourself was a chick for a while. Oh, hey. Anyways, Thorkir's sort of just like chewing on the snake. And you see these small trickles of blood start to slip out from where he crushed the head.
That's a good question, Necro. DM, when I was cured of being a woman, did that remove my fear of women?
Oh no, it's still there.
Damn it.
It's just you haven't run into anything close enough to what
I would associate what a woman would look like.
Well, no, it's what you would associate with a living, breathing human woman.
Ah.
Because again, most were dead, robots, snakes, or lizards. The only time your fear has actually been flaring up is when you were with the ember trees. Ah, okay. Oh! Speak of the fucking devil.
Motherfucker, if he was just playing Ark. While waiting for him to log in, I'm going to attempt to explain why we were in the Forbidden Land to these two.
Thurkir is just... We'll sleep. You can sleep for tonight. We'll take watch.
Did you hear what I said, Brian? I was going to take this moment to attempt to explain why we were in the tomb.
Sure. Roll just a general charisma check.
Come on, +1, don't fail me now.
Average.
Thorkir's... So this group of machines told you to go into these tombs.
Yes.
And you agreed. Why?
So that they would agree to our terms, which
Oh, and they're both offline.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep, they were offline.
Did their internet go out?
Well, again, Lupin's at work. I have no idea what Anthony's up to.
Like, all right, getting back to that. Well, this was part of the agreement for their help with getting rid of the corpse walkers that come out of the ground every night. How's he react to that?
So,
and I'm back.
This lich. And he turns to you, Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? You've run into him before, or?
Twice. That I can remember.
Not the same
No,
lich.
he told us it didn't look like the same lich, so this is a new one.
So it's you too.
So,
Actually, we got to talk to them about that, don't we?
Yeah, but they said they were gonna take us to their leader, I think, when we got kidnapped.
you think we'd take you into? You thought we'd take you to our actual living grounds?
No, but I was Are you the one in charge of this whole party here? How big is this group that we are with?
You're not sure, but you're able to count 8 just from where you're sitting. Though you remember seeing far more outside of the tomb.
I looked the dude in the face. I was like, literally been kidnapped like 6 times this year. And every time they take us to the middle of their workings, I make a gesture. I don't know how and question us, mostly him, because nobody likes talking to me. Don't know why. I'm a very fun person.
I roll my eyes.
And I'm terrible at
Again, Elizabeth, he looks to you and speaks in Draconic. Again, is he joking or is... And he doesn't even finish the question.
He's an idiot at times.
See, I get the sense that you're talking about me, but I have no idea what you're saying. And I'm looking directly at Elizabeth, and I know you're not saying anything good.
Use your connect tail to learn the language.
And in Celestial, I tell her to eat me.
In Abyss, I'll tell you to fuck off.
In Dwarvish, I say, shut the fuck up.
Wait, what?
In Dwarvish,
He
I tell you,
speaks Dwarvish.
shut the fuck up.
He's being Dorvona for us since Dorvona can't be here. She has a
I say in common.
In under comment saying there's a weird group.
Okay, how many languages was that right now? My character is saying out loud. I think I counted 3.
Are you just cycling through languages?
Pretty much.
Basically.
You. Okay, so you speak through.
I'm just waiting for us all to get punched in the face. Like
You're in. Wait, are you. Okay, so Jing, are you talking in telepathy again?
No, we were
not,
fucking with
but I
each other
can.
in different languages.
All right, so.
First Necro was speaking Draconic, then I spoke Celestial, then she spoke then Rainer went with Dwarven, and I was about to go with Elvish.
But I can understand that one.
Oh, congratulations.
But none of you guys actually start. Actually,
We're having an argument in different language in front of them.
Not really. We're just saying profanities in different languages because we think no one can understand them.
Thurkir and Mira just look at each other. And Elizabeth, you get this general sense of they think you're all idiots at the moment.
I mean, we get that a lot, but people have underestimated us. And we're here and they're not, so... Also, what kind of instrument is that? With all the sound that's going up in my ear.
Anyways, you guys, it's a profanity laced manner. Elizabeth reminding you very much of your childhood. But eventually you guys do peter out and sort of just pass out on the ground.
Elizabeth, we're not going to answer the question about the instrument that she's holding.
Mick?
Yeah, I've asked her like 5 times how many.
Like way earlier.
Although I keep hearing somebody like crushing paper in my ear.
Yeah, it's Necro. His mic keeps turning on and off.
Anyways,
fucking internet.
Also, Brandon, you have a hot mic.
Hmm?
Your mic is just on for a while. Oh, your delay is high. Never mind.
Wait, what?
Okay, weird. After you talked, it stayed on for a little bit, so I thought, oh, your delay is on high. It's like, but then it just turned off the minute you said something.
Anywho,
You guys eventually get away. You eventually just peter out and all go to bed. You wake up after a fairly restful night.
jump up. Who wants a drink?
This early in the morning.
The best time to drink.
It is in the morning. And as you guys exit, you actually notice most of the camp is already like fully moving around. They're all talking Draconic, and it's more. And Elizabeth, you pick it up. They're mostly just talking to one another in sort of hushed tones about getting prepared for the day and when are the damn Smoothskins going to wake up finally.
Why do they keep calling us Smoothskins?
Because they have scales and we don't.
Because you're.
You got scales.
Because you're smooth skins.
But
You ever
Elizabeth
watch
has
Star
scales.
Trek? Toki, you ever watch
I said-
Star Trek?
I've seen Star Trek, yes.
You know how that one blue race calls humans pink skins? It's the same thing.
Oh, so it's just a derogatory term that they use for everything.
Pretty much.
Got you.
Well, actually, no. With them, it's more a term they just akin to everything that isn't them. It's not derogatory in any way. It's just a general moniker to describe somebody. The only reason they don't call Elizabeth smooth skin is because she legitimately has scales on her, and they're not really sure what you are, just that you speak Draconic. She's the question mark of the group. If anybody's going to get,
Respect.
if anybody's going to get either respect or get a derogatory nickname, it's going to be Elizabeth.
Oh, joy. That's going to go over well with her anger management issues.
Oh yeah, did we find out what happened to V?
Well, you didn't see her.
She was with us when we got kidnapped.
Yeah, so was Jarvona, but she wasn't in the camp.
Lucy. And where has Lucy gone off to?
She's sort of huddled against the tree trunk. She emerges
Why?
from the hut that you guys were in. Why is everybody up so early?
I checked my... Do I have my watch?
You eventually were given back your packs, yes.
Alright, what time is it?
A little before 5.
Okay, that's an act saying the sun is rising?
Yeah.
That's an actually good statement for him. I swear to God, Necro, stop moving things so close to whatever your mic is.
I'm not moving anything.
What is that fucking noise?
I will destroy you.
Anyways,
I
and
guess.
now that you get a chance to look, Thorkir is sort of wearing this. He's wearing like pieces of bone all over himself, but mostly it's on his forearms, his legs. He's not wearing like actual armor. It's more just like bracing in a sense.
So like mine.
Sorta, yeah.
He is either strong or really wise. So,
And we're heading towards the other. He walks up to you. We're heading towards the other tomb.
oh sweet, we can go in there too. Yaka.
We'll explain on the way why you're still with us.
Is this the... Have they explained that this is the same tomb that Warforged were sending us to?
No, they just said we're sending you to the other tomb.
Lovely.
I mean, there could only be a couple tombs around here. So
Oh yeah, when we were asleep, did my sword teach me how to fight with it?
No, actually.
Huh, said it would.
But as you're walking, you almost get this sort of. You start to feel your eyelids droop, but you don't like stop, slow down, or actually start like tripping. It seems your body's just moving on its own as you suddenly find yourself on a battlefield, on a rolling hillscape. The grass is vibrant and green, and the land, you look and see this massive city, similar to the Warforged, except much larger and in a much better condition, almost as if it's still being upkept. Then you see pillars of smoke rising from it. Then you feel a pain in your chest.
Oh, am I having PTSD?
Wait for it. You look down,
Oh no, Lucy!
No. You see this extremely familiar blade in your chest. It's this blade of pure ice. And
Is it coming out of my back or into my chest?
It's plunging into your chest. In fact, the hilt is almost met your chest. You're also not wearing the same clothes that you should be. You're wearing this sort of black and white robe, though the white parts are quickly turning red, and the blade itself is also being stained this dark red. In your right hand, you hold the same sword from before, the black sword. You look up and you see, in a full suit of black and green armor of this almost artful design, a man that looks elven, breathing heavily. And almost perfectly for you, you hear, "I'm sorry. There was no other way." Rips the sword from you, and your vision just blacks out. You're walking with the group again.
What? I grab my head and
You don't feel any pain. You don't feel disoriented. You don't feel...
I look down to the sword. Was that?
You just hear this whisper, "I'll talk later." You guys make pretty good progress, only getting there towards the end of the night. It takes you a full day to get to the other tomb.
Oh, so it's just north of the other village location.
Well, no, the entrance is, you just show up, you just manage to get right to it before night falls. Thorkir turns back to you. "You'll want to go in during the daytime. At night, things get more agitated."
Okay.
Didn't we drink and eat and drink and eat and drink?
He barks out a few words in Draconic that Elizabeth "We're setting up camp for here. In the morning, we leave, they stay." Then he turns to you, Elizabeth, and just gives you a nod.
Understood.
Understood what?
Nothing.
And draconic.
Yeah, I know.
God damn it.
Anyways, so you guys sit up. This time, Rainer, you actually notice something. There, you hear this like skittering sound along, because the grass has actually grown up quite a bit where you're sitting this time, and there's actually a bit of brush for something to hide in. There's this faint skittering noise you hear as something skirts past you and just barely brushes your leg. Thorkir's hand shoots out, and you hear this as he brings up, and there's just this slightly twitching rat in his hands, which he brings up and just pops into his mouth whole. You just hear this crunching noise as anyways, do any of you want to do something before you guys pass out for the night?
How I'm tuned into this, to the sword.
Okay, so you don't actually have to spend any time actively attuning to it. You just have to stick one in and it just starts doing it on its own. But you can spend time like inspecting the others just to get a better sense of what these are.
He got the golden bag of heads, which is on my side, and I'm over there talking to the lizard bard lady with Lucy, and we're exchanging stories and songs.
And you get the sense that she doesn't so much do songs as short, she more just strings together notes to perform the magic. She doesn't actually flourish.
So she's more like haikus than poems and
No, she's more literally the hunting horn from Monster Hunter, because all she does is string together notes, random notes that will cause the spells she needs. Through your interaction, you get the sense that the lizard folk more utilize magic in a much more utilitarian fashion, in that they just do what they need to and they don't really add any extras to what they do. They do it this way because it's allowed them to survive this long. They're not going to change it up anytime soon.
I guess while they're doing that, I'll try talking to the big guy and explaining our mission.
Roll another charisma check.
I lend him my aid. With a note.
Doesn't gonna matter.
Roll with advantage.
Does the aid give me advantage?
Yes. So roll again.
Thank God. Oops.
You
Okay, let's just take the
most
12.
useless.
My second.
So you agreed to work for this group. Correct?
Yes.
For no other reason than they asked you to.
Kind of our stick.
It's more like this is the price to get them to do something we want.
Oh, so you are doing them A service.
Yes.
You're not as dumb as I thought.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Smoothskin.
He's more of a monkey while I walk by.
Are there even monkeys here?
None that you've seen.
Would they even know what a monkey is?
The hell's a monkey?
I already walked by.
Yeah, no, and he's just like, he turns to you, Rainer. The hell's a monkey?
God damn it! I am not a monkey. It's
How would I know?
I was yelling towards Elizabeth. Sorry. It's basically this hairy thing that has a tail. It climbs up trees.
Do you do any of that?
Well, I climb up trees, but I'm not hairy and I don't have a tail.
He actually looks behind you for a second. All right, Smoothskin, you're not a monkey. But how did you know you can trust them to deliver on their side of the bargain?
Unfortunately, that's where the blind trust comes in. But if they don't, then they're out of. Then they lose any potential reward from this being solved.
They could simply wait till after everything is done and then refuse to give you service.
Well, then I still have a ship that can come pick us up.
Do any of your family know you're here?
Yes, I sheepishly say.
So effectively,
Did she even tell
you've
her parents
trusted a
this?
group of people
She
you
knows?
have no idea about, no former knowledge of, and no capability of knowing whether or not they're trustworthy to undertake a mission that could possibly get you all killed for them, simply because of blind trust.
That, and I'm pretty sure that either way, we needed to get to stronger no matter what. So this is basically us running around killing things.
Besides, I'd follow that goof anywhere. He doesn't look it, but he's strong enough to lead this party into whatever we need to.
Seriously, when did I become the leader?
Because you're the most talkative one.
Compared
Besides,
to me,
we
you
didn't-
two have talked 10 times the amount I have.
You're the cutest.
Yeah, but
No, that's Lucy. Lucy's
You're the one people want to talk to. Okay, let me put it this way.
Most of-
You're the only
most
one
of
that
the time
isn't
they
just an
tie me
ass to
up.
everybody.
the one with the highest charisma roll hates everybody. So
Well, no, you can still have a high charisma and still be a dick. You've proven that several times over.
I can't help
Flashbacks to the
what
first
I am.
I got. I will never understand you smoothskins, but I do understand wishing to become stronger. If you survive this, perhaps I will learn your names. Now, I suppose I should tell you what we want you to do down there.
I assume kill.
Is it
whatever
mostly
is.
killing things? Because we're good
No.
at that.
Well, that's not why we wish to send you down there. If that is what you do, we have no way to stop you. But we lost something of importance to our clan a few months ago. We've said before we marked the tombs as cursed and forbidden, we sent expeditions down to try and reclaim this item. I suppose you can understand what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't understand because we ran into a lich. What did they run into?
Any of our kind that's gone down there hasn't come back out.
So you have no clue. Got you.
Again, there's a reason we call it forbidden.
I do a lot of things that are forbidden. A lot.
And look where it's gotten you.
Mostly following you, dickhead. Maybe you need to pick our contracts better. I don't know.
I have literally never picked a single one of our jobs.
You know, neither have I. Mostly that's been Elizabeth.
Yes, which is why I've always assumed that she was the leader.
Regardless, we're looking for a scepter made of wood and bone. And
He said scepter. I'm still
course.
gonna get it on the way out.
Elizabeth, he points to you. You'll be able to recognize it. It's marked in Draconic.
That will make things easier.
Precisely.
Does it help that I can read Draconic?
The thing is, with your boon, it actually doesn't register to you what languages you're reading. It more just registers that you can read it. It sort of just melts into common for you. So if you were reading Abyssal, you wouldn't see Abyssal runes and be able to understand it. You'd more see scripts of common language and just be able to read whatever the Abyssal message was in common.
But they don't know that. And I sure as hell don't know that. I just know I can read anything that's written.
Yeah.
Thanks to the what the hell is his name again? Foltrian? I really need to write his name down. Great old one. Patron.
By any chance, can I pull out the sword from my shoulder to see if I'm actually attuned to it?
Yes. And no. Well, actually, it's progressing. The blade's slightly longer. And which hilt did you stick into your shoulder?
It was the purple sword.
There's
That's
this
all I
sort
got.
of flickering purplish. There's this sort of flickering purplish liquid almost that seems to be extending from the actual metal of the blade. And it's about a little less than an inch long so far, but it's definitely starting to form.
I put it back into my shoulder.
Thorkir is, well, as close to visibly dismayed as a lizard folk could be, which he more just seems to have backed up and his pupils seem to have shrunken slightly when he watched you pull a sword out of your...
Oh, this? We got it from the undead warrior from that tomb.
And that sword. And the trinkets that are around here somewhere.
If you're talking about the bag, your dwarven friend ran off with them.
Yeah. Also, there was a snake person with us.
She ran off as well.
Good to know. So, elf, Ashmere, dwarf, snake. Where'd the big metal guy go?
Left already.
Again! He's an ambassador.
His
Also-
side quest is over. Forget he ever existed.
No.
Until he comes back.
Yes, like every RPG ever.
It's because he's drunk. He's trying to figure out where all the party members are. He keeps forgetting because he's drunk.
You're drinking in front of Lucy?
Not in front of Lucy.
You look down and see that Lucy is looking right up at you.
Such bad parents.
I've been sneaking sips because I'm literally worried out of my mind what's going on here.
Such bad parents, the both of you.
Besides, she's eating fish.
That's good night. And he gets up and just wanders off.
Well, he's tons of fun.
Merrick's just awkwardly shrugs and just wanders off too. You eventually all pass out, and this time, Rainer, you're back on the field. Though the city's gone, not like ruined or anything, just gone. It's just these rolling hills, and it's you and the sword this time.
So that was you.
Yeah. That was that's my
The last person who had you, how did they die?
well, it's the last memory I actually have. After that, it's just waiting in the crypt.
Yeah, about that crypt. When you hit that guy, I felt a lot of energy come out of you. What was that?
And the thing is, roll a perception check real quick with a disadvantage because you're trying to get emotion from an object.
I have a passive of 18. Does that work?
No. Again,
Come
it's
on.
an object.
I have a +8 if this doesn't work. 21.
You think it's trying to think? I don't know. I think I've lost my edge. Along with most of my memories of what I can do. Though that's why we're here. So we can test things out.
Alright.
First things first, draw me.
Okay, I draw him. Just so you're aware, I have little experience with swords, but they're not as heavy as you, so I don't think I can be as quick.
He called the sword fat.
That's why. And you feel this sort of pulse as this hand juts out of the ground in front of you, and this skeleton crawls out, wielding a similar sword in design. Roll a basic strength check. It is, you are not lying when you said you are not very proficient. It takes what feels almost like days, but eventually you start getting into a rhythm with the sword. You start learning how to use it, learning how to utilize its structure to your advantage, learning the ins and outs and different tricks of what you can do with it. You get also the sense that there's more power to it than simply being a magically reinforced sword. But you have no idea what it can do beyond just the basic increases to its hitting and to its hits.
It's not going to be easy. These girls are from 12 different countries. It's like Model UN, except with real models.
We can talk.
How many languages do you speak?
Okay, between you and the mistress, how am I ever gonna get a good night's sleep again?
Who's the mistress?
Uh, some, I think, god that I owe 3 favors to. That she talks in my dreams. So you might actually meet her next time I fall asleep, depending on how this works. It's very confusing.
Okay. Anyways,
Don't
I
worry
think
about
that's
it.
enough for today.
You sure?
Yep.
I'm still raring to go.
And you now realize that within the dream, your arm's been cut off.
Huh.
Yeah, that got lost a while ago.
I was wondering why I was lighter.
I was actually gonna wonder when you. I was kind of keeping count of how long it took you to notice. By the way, it was 3 hours.
Oh. I didn't really feel it.
Well, this is a dream.
It's probably not good.
Eh,
My stump.
a little bit of blood kind of just like falls out of the body, just falls out of the bloody stump. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, night, and you're just plunged into this void of dreamless sleep. Anyway, next
Why are you
morning,
laughing?
you guys wake up, and everybody else is gone.
So, question: how the fuck are we supposed to give this shit back if they're not here?
Probably have to walk to their settlement.
Rainer, you notice there's a map drawn in the dirt.
I copy this map onto our map.
Very good. You do.
It's a map straight to their settlement, isn't it?
From here to there, yes. It's just a path.
Okay, let's clear out this dungeon, head back to the forge, hand them all the shit that they want, and deal with this bullshit. Since I'm apparently now the leader.
Oh yeah, and Lucy's gone.
Lucy?
My guess, she went with them.
Jing, I blame you.
I blame the both of you. Such irresponsible parents.
You don't even actually care.
Nope, not really.
Anyways, we're going to take this to take a short break.
And pray to all that is holy that the two of them actually show back up.
I doubt it.
Yeah. We'll reconvene at 8:30.
Alright.
No, Mark, I was reading a post on about D&D. It was just like, I give all my characters things that they are supposed to use to solve problems, and then the dice totally fuck me over. Like, I give the dwarf the key to the lock, but he forgets he has the key, so he can't open the lock. So what's he do? I break the lock with my schlong. Oh, okay, I'll give you a roll for that. Go ahead and roll. Nat fucking 20. You break the lock with.
On that note, I'm gonna go get something.
Oh, all this meticulous planning that everybody does, and then it's just like, oh, I'm gonna put my dick on. Did it work? Welcome back, sir.
Change it to my phone to my computer now.
Mm. You know, I have a plus 11 to my charisma and plus 11 to my persuasion and my deception, but I never use them anymore. Seems like half the time all we're doing is perception checks and investigation checks.
That is true.
I want to know what it is. Oh, it's evil? I smash it. I want to know what it is. Oh, wait, I can't know what it is? Fine, I break it. My intimidation's a plus 8. Sleight of hand's a plus 7.
You know, so funny. I still have that steel ignite from our first.
I still have the Blake Wolf eyes.
I
Which
still
are
have
probably mush in the jar by now.
I still have that scroll that led us to a fucking spider.
Oh, you mean when we first got kidnapped?
Yep.
What's really sad is we're doing all of this, and my parents could just send a boat to get us.
How are you gonna send the message?
Eventually, they'll be like, "Where are you at?" Because both my parents have the magic spell sending, which lets them communicate with any being on the same plane as them.
But wouldn't the surrounding magic fuck with it though?
Oh no, that'd be up to the DM. Might be a static walkie-talkie. Hi, I am doing it.
Fuck. I just lost Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm playing another game while we're doing this.
What game is that?
Fate Grand Order.
Oh, I have that.
You do?
Yep. Let me see who I got on my team.
I got lucky last week. I got 2 John the Arc's altars in one row.
I didn't participate in that.
And also got Jack the Reaper too.
Nice. I got Billy the Kid.
I got Florence Nightingale.
Forgot how loud this music is. Hurry up so I can mute the music, damn it. Annie Palex. I've actually got to watch this show.
The first episode.
Oh, I got Lancelot. I remember him now.
I also got him.
Let's see. Receive all gifts. Thank you. No missions. Menu. Formation. Party setup. My party setup is Lancelot, Hercules, I just want to see my setup, man. Let me just see my setup. Oh yeah, I got Florence Nightingale too.
Funny enough, I was gonna make that character instead of Elizabeth. Be weird having two Nightingales that aren't even related.
Yeah, all my gold cards, I got Hercules, Lancelot, and Florence Nightingale. And then I got a silver Billy the Kid. And I got a bunch of other guys. Oh, I can summon 10 monsters now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Got a Medusa.
I'm still waiting for that Gorgon to come out.
Bunch of craft assets.
Was it Jack the Reaper, two Jolters, Nightingale, Carmilla, Frankenstein, Astolfo, Nursery Rhyme, Lancelot, Saber Lily, Nobunaga, Kyohime, Leonidas. What's her name again? Helena.
Astalo.
Benno, Maria Antoinette, Urukai, Siegfried.
What are you guys talking about?
Grand Order. It's a game.
It's a fucking gotcha.
Apparently, you cannot turn the sound off. So that was just loud as shit in my ear the whole time.
Yes, it is. Oh, I forgot Beowulf.
I got some giant dude named Lee Zhao something.
Giant dude.
Yeah. He's a berserker. He's got like a lion for a chest plate.
You mean Lubu?
I've done actually my granddaughter.
Chinese.
Oh, it
Isn't it?
pulls right back up. Formation. Second archive. Third minute.
It should be Lubu.
What did you say?
Isn't it Lubu?
Or is this the Okay, there we go. Lubu Feng Yek.
Yeah, that's fine.
Darius the Third.
Is all your team berserkers?
I wish. Lancelot. My team is made up of Lancelot and somebody else. What's my party set up? My team is Berserkers, Lancelot and Hercules. Both of them are gold.
Yeah, I just run with Frankenstein and Florence or Nightingale. Nightingale actually survives pretty good for a berserker.
I have a bunch of archers as my backups though, so if my berserkers go down, I don't know what I'd do.
You know what I hate the most? I spend more than 200 Saint Quirts trying to get during the Valentine events. Pure fucking Robin Hoods. I think I had like 21 Robin Hoods.
I'll be back in a second. Gonna get water.
Ow, 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 ow. All right, guys.
Who's gonna get the new Onis?
I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
Anyone hear anything from them?
From who?
Our AFKs.
Eh.
Well, everybody's ready when you are.
I'm back. So, the three of you are essentially just left.
Well then, I turn to Elizabeth. She can take care of herself. Let's just go get this shit so we get this over with. Dream team style. It's just the three of us. Let's go.
And I'm just pulling my hair with worry.
Look, man, you're the leader. You can't be more worried than I am.
All right, I'm the leader, and I walk.
Into a
I
trap.
tell Elizabeth, why did we make him the leader again? And I follow.
It's easier just to follow.
Touche.
My first.
Also, you guys notice, yes, it is essentially just it's almost the exact same, except this time the chains are pulled taut and there's like no markings on the doors, or there's no markings on the walls or any of the columns. It's just there's a series of chains that seem to be crossing the doors.
Like holding them in or keeping something out?
Both.
Well, guys, who wants to pop this keg?
What do you guys want? There's no lock.
Can we just push the door open?
There's, again, no door. There's just like a series of chains running between the two pillars.
Oh, so we can just walk through the chains.
Oh, no. The chains are blocking your way.
Oh, they must be stuck to something.
Well, glorious leader, aren't you gonna break through?
How many chains are in front of us?
Roll an investigation check.
Really should invest in investigation.
Enough that you'd probably have to figure out a way to get them to retract in order to get through.
I have an idea.
So we say a good 30 feet of them.
Probably.
Cat's such a market place.
Miss.
It is an absolute. I don't need to.
No, but none
Mm.
of that.
And we have a splendid tenant now. I'm so bright.
Well, it's got to be a mechanism or something around here that has them locked in place.
Two reminders of to come and see us. Two in Brooklyn Place. Which
That'll
can't
work.
be either.
Everyone moving.
Some of the chains disintegrate.
Actually, yeah, considering this is a wall of change, would an 8 actually hit?
It did. It didn't do anything.
Oh, I don't even get to roll?
Dear Mr. Bast, would you do us the kindness of stopping
Burn
tomorrow at tea time?
or melt.
We should be so glad to see you. Your friend, Helen Shea.
She's burning all her spells. Just die, chains, die.
Isn't
It's
chill
a
touch a
cantrip.
cantrip?
Yep. But she's not a spell cast whore per se. It's a racial feat that she gets to use once per day.
No, it's not.
Dragon's Breath is a racial feat.
Eventually, through brute force, you do manage to get to the chains.
That's why we wrote.
I see.
A friend of ours said he thinks it's.
Anyways,
Alright, my first
To tell you to clear out the east.
decision as leader. We need a team name.
Misfits.
Jing, what you got?
Drunkards.
Maybe we should wait till we get Lucy back. And I go through the chains.
Since we got gluttony over there. Oh wait.
What are you calling gluttony? I'm more lust, bruh.
But you're a drunk.
A lust for alcohol. If I were to say anything, I would say that Raider would probably be the sin of what would it be?
Cheese puffs.
I think Sloth. Sloth would be a good one for him.
I was thinking pride.
You know, he doesn't really want to face it, his past. He wants to keep, putting it off and putting it off.
And we're walking, and we're walking.
We're walking while we're talking.
Walk it in my pocket. Oh, come on. Y'all have got to have seen that one. That one was on YouTube.
Which one?
Walk It in My Pockets. It's a Dr. Seuss book that they put to a rap song.
That's
Nope.
almost as bad as the movies.
And cricket.
We're walking.
We're walking.
Then we enter a boss room.
So what would that make you, Elizabeth? If he's Sloth,
Wrath. She's Wrath.
I've never seen her angry though.
I've never seen her not angry.
It's more like envy, actually.
Ooh.
What did she say?
She's apparently more like Envy.
So
What would De Nova
Sloth?
be?
That would probably be Wrath.
Or
so are you
pride.
guys just standing outside the tomb?
No,
and
we've been
talking?
saying we're
We've
walking
been
for like
walking
3
this whole
minutes,
time
but
having
you
this
haven't talked to
conversation.
us.
I wasn't clear. Regardless, you show up right here.
Oh, jeez, big map.
Up or down?
Can you ping again? Your map's too big for me to have it all in one view.
Go to the side, and you see
I
that
know,
slide
but I
bar?
had to slide it all the way down to get to see, and that took longer than your ping did.
Anyways, there's torches again that seem to light up as soon as you guys step into the hallway. There are like parts. Yeah, there are partings spread throughout them that you think are
I move up to this door.
there's
Hello.
you hear these. There's no echo.
Strange. So, guys, door number 1 or door number 2?
Is it locked?
It's an open doorway.
Oh, then what's in it?
More hallway.
There's a hallway leading to a locked door.
I check for traps and I walk towards the door.
All right.
Natural 20. I see all the traps.
Yes, you see all the things, and there's just the door.
Is the door locked?
You can try it.
Good. Check to see if it's trapped. Or does that natural 20 extend to the door?
Regardless, how do you guys... The door's locked.
This young man has his own life. What right have you to conclude it is an unsuccessful one, or as you call it, grey?
I mean,
1 minute. 1 minute. You know nothing of him. You probably has
Preaching clear.
it was locked.
wife, children, stuff at home. I look at the faces of the clerks in my own office. I don't know what's going on beneath. I don't presume to. So, by the way, with London.
Yes?
What do you know about London? Yesterday you were pleased to admire the sunlight.
The spell fizzles.
Well,
Which was
because my phone
These glyphs flare up on the door that weren't there before.
shortened the title.
And you,
Result.
Rainer, you did notice this. There were these slips of paper
Yes.
that were essentially pasted along the edges of the door. One at the very top just fizzled away.
Why should it not be proof
And how many pieces of paper are there?
Well over 100.
Okay, not dealing with that.
Your mistake, Michelle, is
If it's paper, you just rip it.
I'm not touching that shit. I'm gonna go for the easy method.
he punched the door.
Specifically, I'm punching the doorknob. Attempting to break the lock.
Ow.
Is that the door or my hand?
Bit of both.
Yes. He's been gone some time. Oh, what happened?
Is it still locked?
You can check.
I try to open the door.
Still locked.
Damn it.
Can I use my paw to rip out the papers?
I thought you had to cement it. Only because you dissect it.
Okay. You chunk out more of the door.
No, she was going for the papers. Who's playing Minecraft?
Sorry, I think that was just the TV.
Necro is clawing at the talismans.
Oh, well, doesn't work. You do chunk out parts of the door.
How much of the door is left?
You've made about a fist-sized hole right in the center.
Can I reach my hand through and unlock it from the other side?
Yes, let's stick our
Roll a
hands into
Constitution
the door.
check.
That's
Yeah.
talisman.
They didn't even bother to see what's in the other side.
Yes, but you do get several splinters jammed in your arm.
Oh no.
So the door's unlocked. We have succeeded against the doors.
A door.
You may proceed.
Oh my god.
It's always the rooms.
Where are you in the boss room?
That room is so big. Can we see in it?
I can see everything. I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Yeah.
About
That works
that.
in any
You don't
magical
see
dark-
any. You see an empty room.
Woohoo! Empty room. Before I step foot in it, I make an investigation to see any more of these magical assholes that were on the door. And I see black and white.
And red all over.
Technically, with dark vision in the dark, all I see is in black and white. So does everybody else, if they have dark vision.
I'm making a joke, Jing.
Yes, but I'm taking it literally because half the time I don't know when people are joking. You forget I'm an Ashmere. Some things I take very literally.
Anyways, who wants to go in first?
I will. Step foot into the door. Or room. Do I see anything else in the room now?
I mean, I can cast light for you if you'd like.
I'm waiting for the DM to tell me I just triggered a death trap.
You step in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the voice. Here comes the instant kill.
Here
You
comes boss
two
fight.
roll strength saves. That's Elizabeth and Jing.
Oh, God will be sucked in.
Oh Jesus Christ! This
Oh
is
no!
this is the only.
The talismans keep us in.
Oh, thank God! Fuck off me, bitch!
Save was a 25.
What?
You're both shoved in the room.
Even natural 20s can't save us.
And I just realized I have a whole token pack that are samurais.
Well, I know what we're fighting in this room.
It's a samurai versus a samurai.
Yo! Yeah, I can't do that noise.
Yo! Doom, 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 doom.
I swear, they just recorded one guy singing that, and every game ever is just copied that sound effect.
Isn't there a
It's Naruto. It's about to get real. Say, so, so.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And they're increasing.
Still not too bad.
You say that, but you don't know what level they are, how many they're gonna be.
And we lost the
Party member.
Yep.
When he made this encounter, there was 4 of us.
They're standing stock still.
And it has lighting effects on them.
So are you ready to move?
They're not moving on you. They're just standing there.
Is there anything else in this room besides the samurai armor?
It's not just samurai armor. It's actually skeletons inside samurai armor, but...
And the dragon lady bulrushes.
You gonna touch one?
Oh,
She is the samurai.
Do you touch one?
Yes.
They all burst into flames. And then...
Oh, great. Now they're on fire. Okay. Just gonna, step away from this guy here who is on fire.
Avoid the middle because you know there's going to be a giant creature.
But bottom line is, they all burn and then just disappear.
All that's set up for no payoff.
You guys do hear chanting, though.
Oh, come on. Really?
Do we recognize the voice, the language?
Rancor.
You guys recognize the voice. It's the same lich.
Which same lich?
The one from the last tomb, nigga.
Lovely.
Hey, jackass. Could we stop with the creepy chatting for like 5 seconds?
We should move.
Seriously, behind door number 1.
It was the one that was mostly guarded.
Should we move before the leech resurrects whatever is in here?
Can you get back through the door? Because I know I was kicked through the door.
Is there anything else in this room that the lich was... So we just hear the Lich. We don't see him or anything he could be resurrected.
You hear echoes of his chanting coming from somewhere in the complex.
Oh, so we just got trapped and triggered. Okay. Can we try to get out?
Sure. Roll. Do any of you try to cross the threshold?
Apparently, both me and the dragon lady have.
Roll strength saving throws. Xing, you're thrown to the other side of the room. Elizabeth, you do cross the threshold.
And with that, I run after Elizabeth.
Rainer, roll. You're also thrown across the room.
I'll go ahead. As I start moving up.
Second verse, same as the first.
Ooh.
And I am now prone farther back.
Did I make it, Sensei?
Nope. Elizabeth, the door is blown open.
Oh, goody.
You're really gonna
I'll
fight
walk
without us?
Pretty much. And I walk in.
Can we get one more shot before she triggers the boss?
I grab Rainer and I throw his ass through the middle of the room. Through the middle of the door.
Sure, try one more time. Elizabeth, you're in a room with 3 large empty coffins and no Lich.
I threw him through the door. Does that help?
Roll again, Rainer. You get thrown through, and smash into the other wall.
Hurry up and go follow her.
This door.
That one's still closed.
Can I open it?
You can try.
I try opening it.
So
It's
basically,
locked.
we just missed him, and he recruited 3 more people.
Hmm.
And I failed.
Hmm.
Help me out, monkey.
What are we trying to do?
Trying to open this door.
Ah. Is there anything special about this one?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Is it locked?
Yes.
I pick the lock.
You do get to work on the lock.
Son of a bitch!
You guys hear in the distance the boom.
Was that Ridge Boy or it was the door after?
Do I make another sleight of hand to continue picking it?
So, Jing, over the course of a few minutes, you do manage to cross the threshold. It does involve you essentially launching yourself through the door, but
I am literally cursing in Celestial all the way up this hallway.
yeah. Anyways, Rainer, you're just about good with the lock.
Can I get one more in before he just opens it?
Anyways. You managed to get the door open.
Are you jackasses in here?
Hey, we
I'm
breathe.
not crossing this threshold.
Oh,
All are opened.
fuck. We had to stop the one that wasn't filled to the brim with shit. Wait, we never opened the doors in that other one.
Is he in here?
Fuck it, I'm looking for loot.
So, Jing, there's actually inscriptions on each of these coffins.
Oh, look, funny scribbles. Wonder what they say.
They sort of blur and then rearrange themselves in common for you.
Oh, demigod vision. Let's go.
No, it's not even like they just switch around. It's more like your vision just goes like hyper focused for a few seconds before coming back into actual focus, and everything's just legible.
Oh, okay.
But essentially, this one simply bears the name. Whoops. This bears the shadow.
And this one?
1 second. The maiden.
And this one?
Let's see. The traitor.
And I check each coffin on the inside.
Find an assortment of what you can only assume to be torn rags and a bunch of sticks
And all of them?
in all of them.
The traitor, the maiden, and the shadow. Sounds like a rock band.
Is there anything in here?
Oh, hi guys.
Yeah, that lich got a lot more soldiers.
Well, I found tombs with crazy rock band names on them and sticks.
I'm gonna look for that scepter they told us was in here.
Necro, you spend most of the time just searching coffins. Rainer, you eventually do find the scepter broken in two.
Ooh, I found it. I don't think they're gonna like it though.
Let me get it real quick.
I hand it to her.
Is the writing draconic?
Jing, what were you trying to do?
I'm just searching the rest of these these open tombs.
Eh. So you guys got what you came for.
But it's broken.
Yeah.
They're not going to be happy about this, are they?
I would guess. No.
This is where we'll end it for tonight because I'm kind of burned out and I need to rest because I have work early tomorrow. And also, to move on from this point, you kind of need the fourth.
Yep.
So we'll see what they can see if they respond soon at some point.
Do we
Anyways,
get XP for the samurai?
no.
Alright.
Like
Anyway.